Hey, this is Quinn James, and I'm here playing another game of Scrabble with stanefe. And my record against stanefe is 4-4. I've only played him online. He won the first 4, I won the next 4, so it is 4-4, I believe. I turned on a sort of noise cancellation thing on my mic and sort of messed with the settings a little bit. Might reduce the amount of white noise, which is unfortunate for some of the ASMR people, perhaps, but might make me a little bit more audible, which is nice. I kind of think I have a bingo here, which is why I'm going to take a little bit of time. Is this a thing? So I know with a C it would be Screeks. If I miss a bingo here, that's really gonna hurt me. But I don't think it, if it is, I don't think it starts with an S actually. Cigar is good. Garage. Does garage have an anagram? Should I play garage? Keep 2 S's? That's a little weird to do though. Think about doing. Hairs is a really good leaf. I could dump GS. I could play gas, or I could play gash. Gash, I don't think has any hooks, which is interesting. So it's, I'm keeping RES. So it's an interesting little. Oh wait a second. Does it take a Y? Gash here. Hagaris, Hagiras. I'm not feeling gashy. I'm gonna be upset at myself one way or another after this turn, I think. When I go back and look at C. Just because I'm holding the second S, I might want to go ahead and play Shag instead and give myself that. Unfortunately, Shag also completely telegraphs that I have the S. So that's why there's an argument for actually GS. So it's Girard and get 26, leave SS. Shag get 16, keep ERS, telegraph I have the S. Hag get 14, keep ERSS, which is decent but not great. Garage, no. Here's keeps a G, I don't like that. Don't really like that either. This is interesting. This is indeed interesting. Wouldn't normally want to keep this G, but Cigar is actually a nice leave. I'm playing it. And I drop FX. Okay, fine. Stan can probably guess about what I have. Which is lucky for me, because if he's guessing that I'm leaving 5 bingo tiles including the S, he might not be guessing that I have the X. He might be willing to open a scoring spot for that X. That would be unexpected good fortune in the wake of this bad fortune. until he does something, I don't really know what's even. I mean, there's facts, obviously, but chances are that's either not going to be there next turn, or there's going to be something better anyway. And Grex, of course, but the F and the G is actually probably better than the F. There's no reason to sacrifice points and an R to just get rid of the G at this point, even though I would prefer... I mean, I'd prefer to get rid of all of FGX, but short of an exchange, I mean... What actually does that? Like, Foxglove? Get like an 8? Faxing. Okay, fine. The ing words, faxing, foxing. Faxing. Foxings is the one that takes an S. Foxings. Hexings and foxings. Because I tried playing faxings once. That didn't go well. Okay, Zoa for 21. So that gives me fax for 38 immediately, and I really... There's Grex for 38 as well, though. So Foz versus Regs. And I'm thinking actually Regs. I'm thinking this. So this doesn't look great with if I'd played Grex, then this would be looking DEF LLS and something, which may not actually wind up being any better. I don't think there's any even 7s in like that. No, that Gax is not a word. This is actually really tough to respond to. I don't have the A for Galax. I don't want to do this. Dello, Dells, Deli. Is this? I don't think so, actually. Sorry, but Dells and Deli. Down by 1. Lax, Rax, and Sax, I guess, but I don't want to. I really don't want to spend this S even for a play like this, which might. You know what? This actually makes some sense. Like it really does. It puts the impetus on Stan to open. But if Stan is a bingo over here, over here, over here, over here, which would normally be a bingo I'm not too worried about because it would score about 60 to 65 points. But then I'm sitting here, I'm leaving GLR. And that might not be a good thing to leave to respond to a bingo. You want to be leaving like a vowel and a high pointer or something, or really good bingos of your bingo tiles of your own, which that is not. So let's look at, other options a little bit. Fawn does not take an S, by the way. It does not take an S. I could exchange, perhaps leaving reds, which is decent enough leave. Most boards I'd be able to play off GLL, but on this board I can't even play off 2 of them without spending a vowel, I don't believe. This is very bad defensively. There's really no overlap that I have here. So yeah, this is keeping Durs is the obvious play, but just looking at this board, I don't want to do it. I want to play Sled and make it tough on my opponent here. That's what I'm going to do. And I get a decent draw out of that. but I don't think it bingos. Yeah, that's not bingoing. So now I gotta move towards a bingo. And I'm wondering if Stan is gonna think I have another S. It was totally worth it to burn that S, I think, on this board, but he might infer that I'm more likely than not to have another S. Which again I do not have. So I have longer on this rack. I am not sure I have much more. This is a word. I think this is a word. Yeah, this is a word. That would be an interesting play. It would take away S bingos from here just to replace them with this. It doesn't really, and it opens these new lines. It's sort of line neutral, maybe a little line negative, even though it looks like a defensive play. It's actually more of an offensive play. But I might be okay with that, leaving, because I can leave a vowel there. It cleans up, it really, leg is fine. It cleans up the rack, the SCHNORR, for 10 points. Another play I have is Ron's for 15. GELR, probably about 4 points worse than just GEL. So in terms of equity, it's not as good, but score leaves. That's poker people like to tell me that that's not what equity means. Whatever. Game theory people, I go back and forth between caring and not caring, but what I've never heard is what I'm supposed to call it if it's not equity. So whatever. Something that's like shorter than score plus leave, which is, I know it's the same number of syllables, but it's not the same number of phonemes. It's definitely longer to say. But anyway, my point is that it exposes this e5 square, which has got to be worth more than 1 point defensively. This is shaping up to be much more of a defensive sort of battle than the last game, at least so far. There's still plenty of time for that to change, but not going to be bingoing twice in the first 2 turns. Not going to be racing ahead to a lead and then trying to protect it quite yet. And as I said, I have an even record against Stan. Might actually still be 3 and 4. I can't remember. I know I said that that when he was 3 and 4, he started doing void seeks, but because the 3 and 4 game was the game where he played a phony and I challenged it off and I won the game. I think I would have won the game without that, but after that he decided to do void. Yeah, I would have won the game without that. He just got annoyed, so he decided to do void seeks. But obviously he took this seek and it's 5 points, so I might have actually played him again and beaten him again. I can't remember for sure, but it's either 3 and 4 or 4 and 4. I don't keep I don't normally keep track of what my record is against people, I did keep track against this guy because I started at 0-4 and that annoyed me, and I wanted to keep playing him until I wasn't 0-4. At this point, it's more or less neutral, so I don't really care as much. In fact, I almost don't even care at all. I'm just looking for something to fill this time here while I'm waiting for Stan to do something. And he does something. It's not much of anything, but it's something. And immediately I'm looking at wrong over here. I'm looking at longer. Wrong is the play if I want to continue to be defensive. I believe it does not take an S. I believe it is a past tense of ring. Stan may not know that. Stan may hook an S onto it. I am giving up some hooks at D8 no matter what I do. Brash. This gives up brash, crash, trash. I'm going to look at the pool because it helps me see these hooks. If I play longer, and I know I'm obviously giving up an S hook and slash. Blash, clash. Flash, I think. I think wrong. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play wrong. I think it's clearly right, despite being wrong. Okay, and I instantly have replant at D2. If that stays open. The 7s are planter, replant, and pantler from this round. Alright, just moving around in my chair a little bit, so there's weird noises for you there. I don't know if they're relaxing noises or not. That is going to take my spot for replant. And it is not going to give me a new spot for replant. Wondering if I have a 9 through this EN. Interplan, parentlen, plananter. I don't think so. I could play paren up here. Blows the rack, but is still reasonably defensive. The big problem with that is this thing. But the Z's already gone. So the worst bomb that could go up here is like a K bomb. And I'm not that scared of a K bomb. I'm not seeing where else on this board I can score like at all. Especially while keeping the board cagey, which I'm still okay with doing at this point, even though I'm leaving LT and not something that's really actually significantly above average. I still have tempo, so I'm still okay with doing that. Parin, fine. And that's not really what I wanted to see. It does give me Vow up here, but that's likely to get taken, and Toe as well. And when it does, my options are going to be kind of limited to things that open other places. Okay, so was sitting with a J. Rather than play Jin up here, making Jar Iron Ned, it goes a little bit cagier and plays Jin here. Possibly trying to set up a D. I think either way, Vow is obviously my best play, so I'm just going to play it. And get rewarded with no consonants. Or no vowels, sorry. All consonants. That's wonderful. And that's, yeah. Now I'm in some trouble. Now I'm in some hot water. Because I really, with this board, if this board stays unaltered, I'm going to have to exchange because there's just nothing I can do. There's not even a thing that I can play at C9 that isn't terrible. Like, this is not worth it. This is not okay. This is completely unacceptable. This, on the other hand, might be okay. Ooh. It would limit the D if Stan indeed has a D. But Yaiti is kind of making me think he doesn't, and that he just played Jin. That he either didn't see this spot, or decided that he didn't want to leave the Sned hook, or the Ajar spot, or something, and just opted not to play it there. And that maybe he's not sitting on a D after all. So my options are, if I play Trim right now, I'm still keeping four consonants. My consonant vowel luck has not been running very good so far, but in the pool there are 3. I'm just gonna, rather than sit here and count, because I can't count all those E's, it's too many E's to count, so I'll just do this. 3, 11, 18, 23, 26 vowels out of 49 plus the blank. So it's a vowel heavy pool. And that argues in favor of Trim. However, what argues against it is that it's the kind of play that really can lose you the game. Now I get to decide whether to keep RT or RN. RN has slight negative synergy, RT has slight positive synergy, but there's 1 N in the pool compared to 2 R's and 2 T's. So I'm inclined to actually keep NR here. And I draw the blank. And I have Modern up here, which is really tempting for 88. However, I could get slammed with this S. Probably for about 48 to 60, most likely. What else do I have? Do I have anything? Well, I have Meserion here with blank Z for 61. That's a 27-point sacrifice and still leaves this spot. If there's something from this G, I think I'll take it. I'm not Arjun. I'm not seeing it right now. Not Forgemen. I think I'm kind of forced to play Modern and just roll the dice. I draw an S and junk. That does give me SH for 42. There's one S out and a blank. And I am winning right now by 81, awaiting my opponent's play. My prospects for playing this Q off are not good. After I've played Modern, there is no spot for the Q. And my opponent has played Sengi for 51. So cashing that in, I'm still up by 30, but it's looking like I may be changing, so I may not be up by much, if anything, after this turn. All of the options I'm seeing that involve me keeping some of these tiles are just friggin' horrible. Should I keep the C? Or keep HM? I know CHS is supposed to be really good, but I like HMS too and CMS. I don't want to keep CHMS though. That's too many. I just got to make a decision here. All right, this is crushed, although that doesn't currently play, I don't believe. I have duh here for 24, keeping Rex, which is an excellent leave. I really want to bingo before my opponents. The pool is kind of gross, but there's a blank out. And I'm starting to run very low on time. I'm not happy with this situation at all. And adding to it is that I keep thinking that I have a really high scoring play here. Like this, but I don't think that's a word. I'm just gonna slap down duh. And that gives me secrete up here. I'm not sure I have anything else. Chest? No. Cheereth? I don't think so either. This does. Oh wait. That, yeah, that's pretty. Going with that, I believe. No X out. Yeah. Now this game isn't over. My opponent's been fishing. Gotta be close to a bingo. I have to worry about that. I'm thinking about a row. It does give some bingos up here. They have to start with E to hit this. Otherwise they don't hit the double. And if they do hit the double, then starting with E, well, that's the worst case scenario, but it's either not hitting the double up here or hitting the double down here but giving me this back. Unless he's able to start with E. There's only one E out. Bunch of I's. It's going to be... Oh, wait, no. Ida is a word, so... But it's still hard to start a bingo with an I. I think this is still the correct play. I'm really, like... My time's running low, so... And there might be an end game. My opponent might bingo, and there might be an end game. So I really don't want to spend... more time on this. I'm just going to play a row. And I draw what looks pretty bad. I do have Toy Toy. If that stays open, if there's a fish somewhere else, I can play Toy Toy to block that little corner. I'm not sure that Toy Toy is available anywhere else. Okay, so he's become a fish. Now let me look at Toy Toy. If I play Toy Toy, what are my opponent's bingo prospects? Well, there's like Multeity to F. Would need to make a T a blank. Is not an easy find. Any other spots besides that that Y? This requires a H or an S. Skellum doesn't fit. TH. I don't really have a ton of time to do this, but I'm going to do this. Thick. Doesn't have thallium. Doesn't have any of that stuff. I'm obviously blocking a lot of stuff with like millets or whatever. I think I'm actually more worried about parallels. But no, I'm not, because toe doesn't take anything to the left of it. Or two, rather, toe. Two does not take anything to the left of it. There's probably nines through he, but there's nothing that's going to be as bad as this lane. And there's nothing that's going to warrant not emptying the bag, keeping this. Look at this horrible rack. Keeping this, giving my opponent more chances to fish, more chances to get a bingo. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Toy Toy. All right. I got the blank. So my opponent has CEILMTU, and I'm not. If that bingos, then congratulations, because I don't see that bingoing. I don't think it goes through that HE. I don't think that it goes to that Y. And it obviously can't overlap here. It can't overlap here because of TO. Wrong does not take a hook here. This does not take a hook. I think I'm safe. So now I gotta figure out, ooh. That is a stylish outplay if I get it. If I am allowed that spot. Other sixes I see, Lekvar, Vakil. If there's any place that Vakil plays, it'll be hard to play because it has the V and the K. It starts with a V. Looked over here because Val, but it doesn't work. Okay, but I'm gonna get Valkyr anyway, so that's fine. And a challenge, but it's good. And Piotr's still on top of that by 9 miles. Oh well. So was there a 7 in here? Seeing what I missed here. No, there was not. Okay. Okay. Gasher is a word, but it's an adjective. It's a comparative adjective. So that explains why I was sort of remembering something there. Yeah, gash means knowing or shrewd. So gasher, gashest is what that is. Examiner 1 is still not online. Okay, other choices here. Platon is a play that they like here. Planets, Platons. I probably should have seen that, and that's probably better than Perrin. The only thing about it is it does open this P, but I'm really not too concerned about that. The R leave's better than the LT leaves. It's 2 extra points. So there's that. It also recommends Trepan. And I am not so much feeling Trepan because this T is a little bit more dangerous. I don't really want to just flagrantly put this T here, even though it gives counterplay. Also, this top is a little bit easier to overlap. That's maybe more of a concern. The P by itself, for making whatever, pretense on a word, but making whatever, the P by itself over here is hard to get over to this double word score. But the T is easier and PE is easier because you can have an A or an O up there. The PE by itself is an O or a U, so it's harder. And especially at the beginning of a word, starting it with O or U, that's hard. So this is much more overlap friendly than Platon. And Perrin, Perrin doesn't put anything over here at all, which makes it a little bit easier to get over here, but also deprives you of the extra 8 points that you do get if you manage to get all the way over there for Platon. So that is a mark against Platon, but it's hard to get from here all the way over to here anyway. I still think on balance Platon is probably the best play, but I don't think Perrin is that bad. And I do think Varan is probably better than Trepan. Okay, so I saw 2 out of the 3 bingos. The third one was Ceremony to this Y. That is a 20-point sacrifice. Now, is that worth it? Well, Stan's last play was a fish. It might actually be worth it to play Ceremony. Stan's last play was Yid for 14. Yeah, probably worth it to play Ceremony over Modern. There's not that much separating the 2 plays, though. I mean, a 20-point sacrifice is a lot to make on an even game. And Sengi did actually force my opponent to keep 2 eyes. So, unbalancing a little bit. So there's that. And none of this is worth it. Should have changed. And I'm okay with this play. And I did find the right spot for secret. And I'm okay with all those plays. Alright. Hope you enjoyed listening to this.